This episode is brought to you by Mom Cozy. Hey new parents, I'm Brian and welcome to the Dad Life. A few months ago, I reviewed the Eufy E21 Baby Cam and I made the bold statement that it's probably one of the best baby cams available right now. And if you didn't see that video, go ahead and check it out over here when you get a chance. Now that I've been using it for a few months, I wanted to share whether I still think it's one of the best camera systems out there, also some interesting things that I didn't know about before, some new updates, and also a pro tip that you might find helpful. So is it still working or is it a dud? It's definitely still working. We haven't encountered any major issues or even minor ones for that matter, and it's been a really reliable experience so far. The resolution is really solid and I don't have any complaints. And to be honest, most of the time that I'm looking at the monitor is when the baby's sleeping. And this means that the room is usually dark, which means that the camera is using night vision mode. One of the things that I've learned is that although the camera is capable of 4K resolution, you should expect lower quality when the camera is using night vision mode. And this is the case with any camera. In night vision mode, you won't see every crisp detail even though the camera has 4K resolution capabilities. And this is because the camera is using a relatively small amount of infrared light, not daylight, to capture the image. And less light means less clarity. Just think about the clarity of the pictures that you try to take with your phone at night. Also, infrared light is monochrome, black and white, so this also reduces the perception of detail. And there are a lot of other reasons why the quality of the camera will appear less crisp while using night vision mode, including ISO compensation, noise reduction, IR range, IR distribution, lens quality, and maybe I'll cover some of those things in a different video. The range is still pretty good for us. I haven't tested this extensively outside of how we normally use the product, but I have used the monitor up to about 200 feet away, where I was 2 floors away from the baby camera, and the handheld monitor still had a really good clear connection. There have been a few comments in the previous video where people have said that they have lost connection even though they are really close to the unit. And that seems to be an anomaly and maybe not the norm. So if it does happen to you, I would just contact customer service and see if they can help you out. Eufy uses FHSS technology, which is frequency hopping spread spectrum, say that 3 times fast, to connect the cameras to the handheld monitor when you're not using Wi-Fi, and typically this has a range of about 800 to 1,000 feet unobstructed, and that means about 200 to 300 feet inside with walls and floors. Every home setup is obviously different, so in general, it has pretty good range. Now, what is FHSS? It's essentially a closed communication system, so it's good from a privacy perspective. And the signal constantly hops between different frequencies, so it's hard to track or jam. And it's a dedicated connection between the camera and the monitor, so you don't have to worry about interference with other smart devices that you might have in your house. And there's also almost zero latency or lag. So this is really good for real-time audio and video. Now, speaking of audio, the quality still surprises me every time we use it. The active noise reduction technology, or ANR, is really solid and it works really well. And it's hands down the best sounding baby monitor that we've tested. This does mean that when your baby cries, it's crystal clear. So we usually turn the volume down just a little bit because it's a bit too clear sometimes. Now, the one thing I did mention in the previous video was that motion alerts have not been rolled out, and it still hasn't been rolled out as of this video. And I'm really hoping that it will become a new feature that is available because it's essentially the only remaining feature of a standard baby camera that is missing from this one. Is it a deal breaker? Not yet. This is just my opinion. The motion alerts become really valuable when your kid starts to move around a lot and potentially injure themselves when they try to climb out of the crib or even getting stuck in the crib by doing something funny. During the first few months of life, your baby isn't going to be trying to escape from their sleeping area that much, so motion alerts may not be as useful. But now that our little one is about 9 months old, they're becoming much more mobile and active, and I have a feeling that they're going to start climbing up and out soon, so the motion alerts will be helpful at some point. That being said, I have a secondary camera in the room that does have motion alerts and captures the whole room, so I'll be able to use this for the motion alerts. Also, since the last video, the new add-on camera is available. The issue with all of our smart tech in the house is that every single product has a different app, and there's just so many apps to keep track of. We used to have different camera systems for both of our kids' rooms because the Eufy only supported one camera initially. But now that the add-on camera is available, we can put another Eufy E21 cam in our toddler's room and use the same app. The add-on camera is available for both the E21 and the E20. And this is a nice convenience feature for us, and it might be helpful for some of you that have the same situation. Setting up the add-on camera was pretty simple, and there are just two separate steps. If you want to connect it to the handheld monitor off Wi-Fi, then you can set up the camera through the monitor very quickly. Since the monitor is not connected to Wi-Fi, if you want to connect the camera to your mobile app, you have to connect the camera again through the mobile app using the QR code on the bottom of the camera. Now on the handheld monitor, you can either choose to see a split screen of each camera, or you can view one at a time by selecting the one that you want, and there will be a little checkbox at the bottom of the one that you're choosing. On the mobile app, the new camera will show up on a separate page that you can toggle back and forth or swipe back and forth, which is less than ideal. On other camera apps, you can view multiple cameras on one screen and also view a live feed on the dashboard page. This is something that I would love to see Eufy do in a software update in the near future. First, view multiple cameras on one page, and second, view a live feed of the cameras without having to tap into a specific camera. Overall though, it's nice to have both cameras show up on one app. Lastly, I wanted to share a pro tip that we've been using for many weeks now. Again, during the first few months of life, making sure that our baby was okay at night was incredibly important. And we woke up to see what was going on with every noise that they were making. SIDS is real, and it's better to be safe and overcautious in many respects. Now that our little one can roll over on their own and SIDS is less of a concern, we don't need to wake up for every single small cry or sound that they make. So one thing that we've done is added a 3-minute delay between when they start making a loud noise or crying until when the monitor turns on and starts a live feed. This way, if they are able to self-soothe or stop crying within 3 minutes, it doesn't wake us up and everyone can get a little bit more rest. Now, every family is a little bit different in terms of their comfort around this, and I'm just saying that if it's something that you might want to try, then this monitor gives you that ability to set a time delay when you get a notification. So for those of you on the fence about this camera, I just want to say that I have absolutely no regrets, and I still think that it's the best baby camera on the market by far, for now. If you choose to get one, consider using the links below because it really helps support this channel at no extra cost to you. And you might get a small discount depending on when you see this video. I also want to thank Mom Cozy for being a partner of the channel. And if you've been following the channel, you know that I think that Mom Cozy has some of the best products for new parents. I've reviewed a few products of theirs and compared them to the competition, and it always surprises me how much better Mom Cozy products are. Some of our favorites are the auto bottle washer, which is literally one of the most used products in our house right now, and it's a complete game changer. The other is the breast milk cooler, which I definitely recommend for any parent that needs to keep milk cold on the go. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with me today, and if you found this helpful, go ahead and subscribe below, and I'll see you on the next one.